Hello YouTube. Now before the video begins, if there's any background noise, that's probably just the Mac Mini, since that's pretty much the only thing that's making noise at this moment. And to switch things up a bit, I decided to use the iOS 10 5C for this more casual, non-scripted type of video. A lot of these videos or other unscripted type of ones I like to call the IMNC type of videos, because if you don't know who he is, he makes a lot of really nice content about Apple stuff and such, and a lot of the times he rambles a lot, but in a good way, and it makes me want to watch the entire video because it's just really interesting, and it also makes me want to make more rambling type of videos, and of course hopefully improve on how to make them. But anyways, the topic for this video is going to be about storage, and more importantly, it's about these guys right here. Raw files from videos that I've already edited, or backups of videos, and things like that. Storage has always been kind of difficult to deal with because my Mac Mini, it only has a 500 gigabyte internal it's not an SSD, it's a on hard drive. It would be nice if it was an SSD, but a lot of the storage is taken up by the files from the videos. It takes up a lot of space, and as you can see, I don't really have a lot left over. I know that trash is taking up a lot, but that's just a lot of video files that I've been moving over to this guy. This is a Seagate backup drive I've got recently, and coincidentally enough, it sounds like the time capsule decided to start backing up, and I'll address that right now too. But I recently got this Seagate backup. It's a USB 3 2 terabyte drive, which is really nice because I haven't had anything bigger than 500 at this point. That's mainly just internal laptop drives and actual computer hard drives instead of just storage. Anyways, time capsule started to back up, and that is something I will address right now. So this is a setup right here. This is the desk that usually is used. And over here, I've got one of the last generation time capsules before they switched to the 2013 models. I believe this is a 5th generation, but I may be wrong. This is also where I've got the backup drive. You can't really see it right now. Hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. It's the same as the icon, which is pretty nice. This backup drive has saved me a lot of worries about backing up files, because while the time capsule is really nice, it's not like a standard backup drive where you can easily access everything. It can access everything, but it takes a while, and it does a full system backup. And while it is pretty time consuming, it's actually a really nice thing to have, and it saved my Mac quite a lot of times actually. When I had issues with the hard drive not booting up properly, usually I just go into recovery mode and I can back up from the latest backup, and it saves everything. And I still don't understand why Apple stopped making airport stuff, because this stuff is really convenient. Anyways, the latest backup I saw goes back to the beginning of this year, January of 2020. I did have earlier ones before that, but I only recently got this backup drive. And so the idea for this video is that we are going to access Time Machine and recover old Final Cut Pro projects that I've since deleted due to storage, and hopefully recover them. I've got pretty much all these files, raw footage which I've kept since the beginning. These are just backups of all the music I use, IPSW files, which are really convenient since it can take forever if you download directly from iTunes or something like that. macOS installers, which is pretty nice. I don't know if mine still work since I haven't really used them. And this is where I started backing up a lot of files. So in Final Cut Pro projects, I've started to do it by year and then by month. And the goal for this video is to access Time Machine, as I've said, and we're going to try and get these. These are the backups of the older Final Cut projects. I've already checked this. This was from the oldest backup, and while it does have 2 videos they are not complete. So we're probably going to have to go into the next available backup, or the next several available backups, which I believe are from February. It isn't going to be a complete recovery from every single Final Cut Pro project. I am going to be saving every single one from now on because I do have the storage, and I will try and recover as much as I can. So pretty much this is worthless right now, but if we go in and take the newer older backups, we can try and recover the videos library, and we can see what finished projects are there. Hopefully we will be able to recover a couple. I have always kept, actually no, I did not keep a lot of the raw files either. Pretty much the only stuff I did keep were the finished videos and thumbnails as a backup, because those were the only ones that I really wanted to keep due to limited space. But now, because of it, I'm going to try and see if we can recover some of the videos. It is kind of unfortunate that I didn't do this earlier, but I didn't have this backup drive before, so it was kind of impossible to do. I guess now we'll just have to access Time Machine and see what else we can recover. Oh boy, is this gonna take a while. That's at least 60 gigabytes of storage, and this is going to be a lot of waiting around, and at the end, even if it's not useful, I'll have to delete it and then restore another backup. So hopefully this one will work. I've already tried 2 of them, and the projects weren't even completed. So let's see if this one will hopefully have them. And considering by the larger, more considerable size, I'm going to assume that it probably does have at least 2 videos that I believe are finished at the point that this was backed up. Okay, so since the original clip, it's been a couple of days, and that's mainly because I haven't had any time to actually take a deep dive into these files, but this one is from mid or late February or even March, I can't remember at this point. There is some success with the archival process, as I found 2 completed videos so far. These 2 that are finished are the Apple Watch charger unboxing, and the other one is the very first episode of Inbox Mail Time, which I did not have either. Most likely, I'm probably going to, well, I'm definitely going to save them, but first I'm probably going to save the project. I'm probably going to have dedicated folders for the raw footage backup, so I'm probably going to save the files from the project as well. So that's 2 videos so far, and I wasn't expecting to get the oldest ones because obviously the backup drive, the time capsule, has since probably overridden that, but it's okay, as I mean, it's better than not having these. I will continue to look at more of the Final Cut Pro projects. I've since renamed this from just videos to like current projects or something. I will get all the files from this, delete it to obviously make more space to download the next one, which will probably be a couple of weeks newer than this one, and I will see you guys whenever that happens. And I don't know if it's going to be a couple of days again, because of time and whatnot, because it takes a while to actually download it, and then it takes a while to look at it and then save it. I will try my best. I've been double checking when I uploaded these to make sure they are in the proper folder for the backup, and since I got Inbox Mail Time into the Apple Watch charger videos, these are probably the oldest ones that I have fully backed up with raw files and everything at this point. So from this point on, from Inbox Mail Time 1 to now, hopefully I'll be able to get every single one of these Final Cut Pro projects and everything before it, from low budget video number 4, which I don't know if I'm going to be keeping low budget videos. I'll probably just have them like this type of video, but from here to the original, I might still have the original from when I was still using a PC to edit rather than the Mac Mini, or even the 5C restoration, but I'll have to double check that. Pretty much all of these, the older ones, I probably will not have it backed up because the time capsule doesn't go that far back anymore. But fortunately, I will be able to get these, and I will hopefully recover all of the projects since I now have the storage to do so. I will try and focus more on audio like I did with the nano restoration or nano retrospective video, because with almost all of them before, you really have to turn up the volume, which is on me, that's my fault. I'm going to be focusing even more on audio because when I was editing, I didn't realize this. It is quiet, and I've since been trying different ones on devices that you guys would normally use, like an iPad or an iPhone or some sort of mobile device and something else. And I do realize that I have to focus a little bit more on audio. I will try my best to do so, and I feel like the retrospective video is kind of like the transition from subpar audio to decent audio. It's still not going to be the best, but I'm going to try my best with it, and hopefully it will be better in the future. So I will first back up these two, and then I will continue to find the rest of the videos, and hopefully this is making some interesting content. Of course, every video is not going to be like this. It varies on depending what it is. Some are more scripted, some are like this where it's just freestyle, also like the RAM upgrade. I will back up these, and I will continue to see if I can get the rest of these files. So again, just like some of the other clips, this one is being recorded a couple of days later, and a lot of progress has been made. And by that, I basically mean that I've backed up what I can to this point now, and basically from Inbox Mailtime 1 to now, I've backed up most of these files because those were the ones I was able to get. So I've got the last 4 ones, since those were current. They're the most recent ones anyways. I got all of the Inbox Mailtime episodes, which is really nice. I was not able to get the iOS 4 and the iOS 5 tutorials. I wasn't able to get the Audio-Technica review and the Mac Mini upgrade. I was able to get everything else. I am happy that I have the Time Machine backup. I've also been doing a lot of organizing on my desktop because I felt like it was really cluttered. So now I have the essential ones that I usually use for every video. This is where I put all of the files for current projects that I'm currently editing. In the future, I will probably switch this over to an external drive to save on internal, or at least upgrade the internal one. But this is basically like everything that goes into the project. This is usually the music I put in, the downloaded files, and these are the intro/outros. And over here for the Seagate backup, so I've done some reorganizing. I don't have the separate raw files that I usually use, that I kept anyways. I don't keep that anymore because they're all saved in the Final Cut Pro backups. So what's the point of keeping it if it's already there and it's just going to take up more space? In this one, I just have the intros and basically just the music files as a backup just in case. I moved all the thumbnails and the photos that I have for videos onto the backup, so that frees up more space. Finished videos, I moved that also onto the backup, and that freed a lot of space. And of course, the Final Cut Pro archived backups. When it does come to the point where I will need more storage, I'm probably going to have at least another external hard drive at the very least. And down here, this is pretty much the same. I mainly just had the IPSW files, and there were a couple that I had remaining on the computer itself, and I moved it over into here onto the backup. And again, macOS installers. I'm really glad that I did this archive process though, because now I have a lot more backups saved, and it's just much nicer. I should have done this from the beginning, but again, it took up a lot of space on the computer. And now I have a lot of free storage on the Mac Mini itself. But now I have definitely learned my lesson. You need to get storage, and you should really back these up just in case, or if you want to go back and potentially re-upload something or change something within the video. It's good to have the original file so that way you can just easily adjust it rather than trying to edit a finished video, which could cause a lot of problems due to audio and everything else basically. And this is just extremely handy now because I have dedicated folders for all of the projects, pretty much everything. Most of these, they have at least half of the videos that were uploaded that in the month, except for July. That's when I started to really back it up and save everything. So I do have everything from July, and I have most of them from the previous months when I actually started to do a lot more uploading. But now I have dedicated folders for August, and then whenever it becomes, September, October, I'll add more files, more libraries. As soon as I said storage, the 5C filled up with storage, because this one, the one that I was just using, this one, the white one, is only 8 gigabytes, and I'm surprised it didn't hold a little bit more. Then again, it's a lot of footage being recorded. This is probably going to be a pretty long video at the end of it. I'm still really glad that I set this up and I actually, made it work, because now I have dedicated folders for everything and it won't take up space on the Mac Mini. And now, going into the future, it's just going to be really handy now. Whenever I actually have like a whole file server and everything, this will be much easier to move over rather than trying to mess around with all these files. And if I started this later, there would have been a lot more lost videos. So I'm really glad that I did this while I got this storage drive, fortunately. And I hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. I would really like to do more of these where I just sit down, grab the camera, and start talking. I do have upcoming plans for 100 subscribers, but this video is going to be uploaded first as kind of a video to be uploaded, because at this point I haven't uploaded a video in over a week, and I feel like something has to be posted to keep some consistency anyways. Once I'm able to finish the 100 subscriber special, I'll move on to other videos too, but I just haven't had time to finish up that video. Before I end the video, I just want to say that the Dell Dimension, I do have a matching monitor that came with it, and it came with everything. The speaker setup was the subwoofer, the monitor, the keyboard, and mouse. And I would really like to do a video like this where I'm just, sitting here, not at this desk, but at the other one. But, just sit here and clean like the monitor and keyboard, mouse, and then we can actually use it. And I do have a CRT monitor, but that is probably going to be as a secondary or something else type of monitor, because as you know, the LCD you see is perfectly fine, but once you start recording a CRT, unless you have some settings set up on a fancier camera or you have an app on a phone where you can adjust it, it gets the lines, I forgot what it was called, the scan lines. But yeah, it isn't exactly pleasant on the eyes when compared to an LCD monitor. And while it is fun to use, you really need to set up the settings on a camera to specifically match the refresh rate of the screen with the scan line. I really want to do more of these types of more relaxed type of videos and having fun, just messing around. So before the video ends, I should probably let you guys know how much storage this actually freed up. So as you can see, I have over half of the drive now available for free space, and that is a big difference. And documents, which was pretty much 1/4 of the drive, is now just 3 gigabytes. And that's just due to current videos that are taking up that space. System does seem a little bit big, but it does take a while for it to calculate other factors too. One of the largest file groups now is iOS files, but that's to be expected since they are iPhone backups, so it's going to take quite a bit of space. But the Seagate backup is doing a really nice job of holding all these files without having to clog up the internal hard drive, so that is extremely helpful. And one other thing, as I was checking out the file system to delete unused files, I discovered there was one more for 2019. Now, before this, I did not have any of 2019, at least any videos that were saved, except for the final ones. And as I was browsing the Final Cut backup archive section, it actually saved one almost 100% complete. It is the Magic Mouse 2 unboxing, and other than some recordings that are missing, which isn't a big deal, the entire video is here, which is pretty nice. And if I have to get the recordings, I can always just use the final video that I still have saved, and I can get it that way. So for 2019, there is one video saved, but that's still another video that has been archived. Unfortunately, the other backups did not have any of the files, so they were pretty much useless, but I was able to save one more video while I was doing it. So there is one for 2019 saved, and there's also everything else that's going to be saved for the future. I would say that this archiving attempt was a success. I know that every video wasn't saved, but it doesn't really bother me, and I do have the final videos anyways, and considering I managed to even get this much is a success in my book. So fortunately, I also have the space and the knowledge of how to actually save these Final Cut Pro projects now. If you guys enjoyed the video, then be sure to stick around, join the Discord and the subreddit if you haven't, and thanks for watching.